this is still the place that we all call home. Free, nothing feels like free, though it sometimes means we don't.
This is truly a special time for the Fenn School. As you may know, at 6:30 this evening, in this handsome and versatile space, currently named the Meeting and Performance Hall, or the MPH, the greater Fenn community will gather to honor two remarkable educators and people. For their long-standing service to Fenn, their exemplary leadership, and their abiding love for the school, Jerry Ward and Lorraine Garnett Ward will be honored, and in a very special dedication, this hall will be named Ward Hall. The naming of Ward Hall comes from the generosity of two Fenn alumni, J.K. Nicholas, Fenn class of 1982, and Peter Nicholas, class of 1985. And during this evening's celebration, J.K., Peter, and their family will be thanked for their extraordinary support. As I see it, it is so fitting that this hall where we gather 4 days a week, and which is in many ways the heart and heart of Fenn, will be named for Mr. and Mrs. Ward. Just as this hall has been and will be central in the lives of many Fenn boys, the Wards have been and will be central in the lives of many. The literal definition of dedicate is this, and I just ask you to listen carefully as I read this, and I'll do it twice. To devote wholly and earnestly as to some purpose or person. To commit oneself to a cause or purpose. And I just want to read it one more time. To devote wholly and earnestly as to some purpose or person. To commit oneself to a cause or purpose. I personally, and I think I speak for everybody in the hall, cannot conceive of a more apt definition of the work and the leadership of Mr. and Mrs. Ward than that. So Mr. and Mrs. Ward, for all the dedication you have shown Fenn in the past and will show in the future in your work with Fenn boys in the greater Fenn community, please enjoy this special dedication this evening, and we thank you very much for all that you do. Thank you.
But I am deeply moved by this honor. I have to say, having thought about it a lot, it's not something that anyone, I think, really expects to happen. And when, and not to play pauper, I think that we're in the richest of professions, but when you go into teaching and in education, you just don't think of sort of the really big things.
Saying, first of all, the first best thing I ever did in my life was marry Mr. Ward. And the second best thing we ever did was take on the Fenn School 21 years ago.
It's a remarkable honor, but the reason that it is an honor, and I really say this especially to all of you boys, is that this hall could have really the names of hundreds of people on it and in it. In my mind's eye, I can just picture the names of all, you're right. Of all of the teachers across the years and so many other people, staff members and trustees and alumni and parents who really are devoted to Fenn.
A year and a half later, Fenn headship became available, and Mr. Ward said, I think I'll apply to it. And I said, well, let's do that. And quickly became a finalist, and they asked the spouses of the finalists to come to school. And I will tell you honestly, the thing that convinced me is I went to all school meetings. It was in the old Rob Hall. And when I saw fourth graders getting up to make announcements, and when I saw how often teachers put their arms around boys, when I saw that a ninth grade boy led me, I saw Mr. Ward across the hall and I said, this is the school.
And to see especially, this is when our hearts soar, to see you as boys becoming young men, be on our stage or be here, and sometimes you're squirmy and sometimes we have to remind you to pay attention and all those things, but you are growing into young men, and that is a bond that we have with you and with the school. That's what the Fenn School, to come back to the word of dedication, is dedicated to. It's really the growth of all of you as fine people who someday as well will really work hard, I'm certain of it, in different ways for the larger good, most of the time through institutions such as schools and the like. So to be part of all of that, and to have our name on this wall is meaningful beyond words. I just offered a lot of words. And I do have to say it will remain a treasure for us forever.
I'll say I'm proud to call myself a Fenn mother and a Fenn grandmother. I love you all. This is the greatest honor that could ever happen to us in this wonderful work we do in this wonderful community we call Fenn. So thank you.
You will never sleep alone. I'll love you long after you go, and long after you're gone, gone, gone. When you fall like a statue, I'm gonna